For 100 years, the Hamiltonian has been harness racing's ultimate proving ground. A stage where talent meets pressure and where a single mile can become part of sporting history. So how do you recap 100 years of a classic race? You just gotta feel it.
Shouted from the mountaintops, Chuck Sylvester's forbidden trade with a gigantic upset. Otis Lundstedt wins one for the boss.
From East Rutherford, New Jersey, and the Meadowlands Racetrack, welcome to the 101st Hamiltonian. The Meadowlands Racetrack in East Rutherford, New Jersey, home of the 101st Hamiltonian presented by Winning Key Farm. It's the greatest day in harness racing, fun for all ages. And today we will find out, with over 100 years of tradition, who is the newest winner of the prestigious Hamiltonian. A wonderful afternoon at the Mecca of harness racing. The fans filing in, and they are set for our two main events. The Hamiltonian Oaks, $500,000 on the line for the fillies, and the Hamiltonian, $1 million is up for grab as the sport's best three-year-old colt trotters will duel. Welcome to the desk, everybody. My name is Mark McKelvey alongside Emily Ratcliffe. And Emily, it doesn't get any better than this. Hamiltonian Day, Hamiltonian 101, so much history, so much prestige.
That's right, Mark. There are certain days in the sport that just mean more, simply mean more, and Hamiltonian Day is one of them. The best three-year-old trotters in the sport are here. The stage is set. There's $1 million on the line, and it is time for Hamiltonian Day 2026.
There are so many storylines, so many talking points when you're looking at this year's big race. And for more on that, let's go to the third member of our broadcast team, Greg Blanchard.
Thank you, guys. Yes, one of the most significant storylines this year in the Hamiltonian surrounds two of the most prominent drivers in the sport. Three-time Hamiltonian winner Scott Zeron and reigning U.S. Driver of the Year Jason Bartlett, both injured in a mishap this past Thursday evening at Yonkers Racetrack in New York. Now, the good news is both are expected to return to action soon, but just not good enough to go here today. That means Matthias Melander will get the drive this afternoon on Spencer Hanover, and one of the sport's all-time greats, David Miller, will be back in town driving Post 2 starter It Could Be Worse. Miller, one of the leading drivers on the East Coast for decades, relocated to his home state of Ohio last season. And we remember that in 2018, he was behind What the Hill, the first winner of the Hamiltonian ever to be disqualified. What a story it would be if Miller could return today and hoist that elusive Hamiltonian trophy for the first time. Back to you, guys.
Thank you so much, Greg. The names to keep your eyes on: Apex, Big Ranger, Endurance. But before we can talk about the boys, we got to talk about the fillies. Final preparations for the Hamiltonian Oaks coming up next.
The 101st Winning Key Farm Hamiltonian on CBS Sports Network is brought to you by the Hamiltonian Society, supporting and encouraging the breeding of standard-bred horses for more than 101 years. And by Winning Key Farm. We will be the key to your success.
Welcome back to coverage of the 101st Hamiltonian presented by Winning Key Farm. The Hamiltonian Oaks fillies are on the racetrack, putting in their final preparations ahead of going to the gate for $500,000. It's the filly companion race to the Hamiltonian, although over the years, Emily, we have seen fillies step up and beat the boys in the big race.
Yeah, not out of the question, Mark. As you said, we've seen fillies take on the boys. This year, not going to be the case, but we've got a fine field assembled for the filly counterparts to our Hamiltonian, and as we said, a very nice group. Maybe no huge standout, which I think maybe makes this the most interesting race we've seen in the last number of years.
Last weekend, there was 3 eliminations for the Hamiltonian Oaks. You had to finish in the top 3 of your race to qualify for the final, plus 1 fourth-place finisher with the highest career earnings got the 10th and final spot. Your 3 elimination winners were the 1 Busy Miss Lizzie, the 2 Nezuko Kamado was second, although looks to be the favorite going into this race. Those other 2 winners were the 4 Set Your Sights High and the 6 Carve. So, as I mentioned, the standout Nezuko Kamado, a bit of a surprise that she lost her elimination. Maybe just a blip on the radar?
I think so. You know, 802,000 for her lifetime mark, a 3-year-old filly that, you know, as you said, maybe just a blip in her last out. Aside from that, she really has done nothing wrong. A mark of 150-1, taken just 2 starts back in a division of the Dave Miller here at the Meadowlands. So she's really racing lights out. Just looked like she just missed there, just beaten a neck. Still trotted home in 26 seconds. So to me, as you said, just a blip in her radar.
There's a look at the number 3 Custom. Jason Bartlett was to drive. It will be Ronnie Wren Jr. getting the assignment in his spot. Meanwhile, number 2, Nezuko Kamado, she the standout. 4 wins and 5 starts this year, 10 for 16 lifetime. And Yannick Gingras gets the opportunity to fill in for Scott Zeron. We know Scott's won the Hamiltonian 3 times. Yannick finally got his first win in the Hamiltonian 2 years ago with Carl. So if you were looking for a replacement, can you believe it? Yannick Gingras didn't have a ride in this race. Now he's got a big opportunity.
If you're going to get the call off the bench, you certainly want to get a call for one like this. As you said, he obviously plenty of success in this race as well. With the inside post draw, I mean, like we said, if you're going to get a call, if you're going to be sitting off the bench, you really can't ask for anything better to jump in than a filly like this. Of course, Marcus Melander, one of the top trainers in the game, and this filly, like you said, looking to add a trophy to her long-winded resume.
Yannick Gingras has had quite a bit of success in the Hamiltonian Oaks. In fact, you go back to 2014 when he won with Lifetime Pursuit. He then went on a run of winning in consecutive years all the way through till 2018. His most recent win in the Hamiltonian Oaks was in 2020 with the filly Sorella. So we've talked about the main contenders here. Who else are you keeping an eye on in this year's Hamiltonian Oaks?
I think there's a few in here, Mark, that I think we'll need to take a long look at. The 4 Sets Your Sights High, another from the Marcus Melander barn. A filly that made $678,000. She's the richest filly in the field with $823,000 lifetime. Now, a majority of that won last year. She's taken some heat this year. Maybe hasn't come back quite as sharp as she was at 2, but to me, it looks like she's trending back in the right direction. As you talk about elimination winners, she was a decisive winner. Trotted home in 26-3, and Dexter Dunn looking to add another trophy to his resume as well. And like I said, this filly looks like she is trending in the right direction at the right time.
There's a look at number 8 Storybook Love, driven by young reinsman Todd Ratchford from Canada for trainer Matt Bax. This filly has yet to win in 8 races this year, but notably she stepped up at the right time last year when she won the Breeders' Crown year-end championship, so she knows a thing or two about big moments. Could today be another chance for her to step into the spotlight? It would be quite a surprise. She would have to go for the big upset. In fact, she was the final filly to qualify for today's final. You talk about drivers and how much of an impact they play in races like this. How about Åke Svanstedt, who drives his own trainee, number 1 Busy Miss Lizzie? Last year, he guided Nordic Catcher to victory in the Hamiltonian, and it doesn't matter if it's on the training or the driving side, he gets results.
You know, just like in any other sport, Mark, you've got those guys that are clutch in time of need, and Team Svanstedt seems to be that guy. Doesn't seem to bother him, and like I said, seems to step up right when he needs to. Of course, recently inducted into the Harness Racing Hall of Fame. He's got a resume as long as the day is, and again, he's got a very serious contender, elimination winner coming off the rail here.
It's a good field of 10. The top 3-year-old trotting fillies in harness racing are now taking their positions. It's time for the Hamiltonian Oaks, and we send things to the voice of the Meadowlands, Ken Workington.
Lizzie and the 4 Set Your Sights High, also at 6-1. 6-5 on 2, Nezuko Kamado with Yannick Gingras, raised 9. The Winning Key Farm Hamiltonian Oaks, here they come. And the fillies are off and trotting. Carve is out quickly. Pretended Diablo from the outside tried to blast off. Laney W just floated away. Busy Miss Lizzie on the inside into the first turn. Carve and Busy Miss Lizzie cuts the corner into the first turn. Laney W third on the outside. Nezuko Kamado got away fourth on the inside. Set Your Sights High is fifth. Skimming the cones is Custom on the inside. Sixth as they head to the quarter. And then parked out there, and Pretended Diablo spinning her wheels early with Storybook Love pinned in near the rear of the field with Leading Lady, and Madame Chevelle is the early trailer. Soft opening quarter here, 28-2, uncontested is Carve, the elimination winner. Here comes Nezuko Kamado and Jingra on the outside. Look to challenge and now glide by and take over. Busy Miss Lizzie, that elimination winner, right on the helmet in third as they get set to pass the half. Pretended Diablo on the inside and on the outside. Here comes Set Your Sights High. Set Your Sights High. And the half was 56-2. And they race to the far turn. Nezuko Kamado is now the target. Carve on the inside second. Now second is Set Your Sights High on the outside as they continued around that far turn. And up on the outside as they race past three quarters for Pretended Diablo in a second over position in fourth. Shuffled back on the inside was Busy Miss Lizzie in fifth. Leading Lady third over, sixth on the outside. Madame Chevelle needs to do more. Fourth over on the outside. Laney W was shuffled back. Then it's Storybook Love and Custom into the stretch. 125-1. And it's Nezuko Kamado under intense pressure. Set Your Sights High trying to keep it going. Pinned in with trot is Carve. She needs to shake loose late here. Nezuko Kamado almost home for Jingra. Nezuko Kamado pays off the chalk at 4-5. Then it was Set Your Sight High and a photo, 151-4.
Nezuko Kamado, driver Yannick Gingras donning the colors of owners Courant, win the 2026 Hamiltonian Oaks.
What an effort. We talked about it before the race, Mark. If you're going to pick one up, you want it to be one like this, and she not only delivered, but what a drive as well.
A big final quarter to seal the victory. Coming on through is Carve for Andrew McCarthy, an elimination winner who shot up the inside last week, comes pressing on late, but Nezuko Kamado is there. The four Set Your Sights High will hold on to third, and once again, Yannick Gingras tastes victory in the Hamiltonian Oaks. Maybe a sign of things to come for trainer Marcus Melander, as he will be loaded in the main event, but for now, enjoys the victory in the Oaks.
Yeah, you know, we talk about momentum in sports, and it's just the same in harness racing. When you start a day like today, it's good to get off on the right foot, and maybe didn't get off on the right foot, but you get to the winner's circle anytime on a day like today, and it bodes well for your confidence. So hats off to the connections here. Again, Philly raced extremely well.
Nezuko Kamado wins the 2026 Hamiltonian Oaks. More when we come back.
Yannick Gingras, a race you've had so much success in the past. But today's a totally different scenario, picking up a drive like this.
Well, it feels bittersweet, to be honest. It's awesome to win races like this, but you feel for Scott. You know, the reason why she won the race today is the hard work he's done for 2 years with this filly. She was ready to cut one out like this. I just felt bad for Scott.
Can you walk us through the race? Did it go as you expected it would?
Yeah, a little bit. I'd expect a little bit, maybe a little more speed out of there. Like, we weren't going very much, so like at that point, made my decision easy to make the lead, and I knew I had the filly to beat on my back, so it was just try to manage the race to keep him locked in long enough so he wouldn't catch us.
Yeah. And did she feel like a winner all the way down the stretch?
She did, honestly, she did. But then I went on the stretch, like let her out a little bit to. Andy was on my back, and maybe I let her out a little too quick because he gave me a good run there late. So credit to both Philly Bear. Lucky we came out on top.
Congratulations. Maybe the start of another big day for you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Back to you guys.
Well, a big congratulations to Yannick Gingras, and as you saw, lots of camaraderie there, plenty of respect for Scott Zeron, who had done a wonderful job, and you just got a feel for him that he wasn't available to drive today, but Nezuko Kamado does come through, pays $390 to win, $240 to place, $210 to show. That exacta, with Nezuko Kamado the winner and Carve second, returns $13.50. Emily, 7 wins now for Yannick Gingras on the Hamiltonian Oaks, 2 for trainer Marcus Melander. There's a bit of a breeze, almost feels like a storm could be brewing, and we know how much Yannick Gingras loves a storm in the Hamiltonian.
It's right. Just a few years ago, we were sitting here and watching a very similar situation set up, as you said. The storm blew in, and Carl getting the job done, and Yannick Gingras in the Hamiltonian. So foreshadowing, maybe. But nevertheless, he can't take anything away from Nezuko Kamado. As we said, big effort there. She etches her name in the Hamiltonian Oaks history books.
The 101st Hamiltonian is presented by Winning Key Farm, and in this great game, the love for the game starts with the love for the horse. And Patty Key is continuing on the tradition of her Hamiltonian winning husband, Bob Key. Let's learn more.
With a 16th to go, American winner, and Pierce by 2.5, 3. It's all American winner. The sword is up for Pierce in 153-2. What an effort by American winner.
Bob Key, the owner. What's it like to win the Hamiltonian?
I can't even believe it. It's the greatest thrill in the world, and I'll tell you what, it's going to be that way for weeks.
He loved the horses very much. I knew nothing about them. We first started with our brood mares, and we started out with 20, I think, at the time, because Bob was keeping everything, you know, and he didn't want to give it up. So he figured he could breed himself, and he did farm them out first to another farm, and then it got too expensive, so then he decided to buy his own farm, so we bought the farm up at Worthington. And that's the beginning of Key Farms. The one filly that I had, her name was Starnina, and when she was born, she actually left her mom to hang out with me. That horse taught me more about this standardbred than any horse I could possibly have been around. From then on, we then had BJ's Pleasure with Dr. John Gleesman. Lo and behold, American winner is birthed. And he looks like a little Ferrari. And he is just phenomenal. And that's when everything took off. And that's when Bob bought a second farm and bred more mares. And then he goes ahead and he keeps everything. He kept everything. He was afraid of that horse that would get away. That's why. I just decided that I needed to take the farm in a different direction. I had to reinvent the farm. The only people that can help me is Samantha and Eric. Without them, I could not run this farm. They've been with me 27 years for Sam, 25 with Eric. I want to sell foals that are stake racing foals, not overnight, not claimers. I'm excited. This gives me excitement. This makes me, you know, it gets the blood going.
Well, we are so excited to be joined by Patty Key, Winning Key Farm, the presenting sponsor of the 101st Hamiltonian.
Patty, you and Bob have invested so much in this sport, not just through Winning Key Farm, but just the impact that you have had. And as you look at that, what are you most proud of?
Oh, I'm proud of our whole operation. I mean, to build it up from 4 pieces of 25% of racehorses in 1981 to the present when we had, 1993 with the American winner, winning the Hamiltonian. It's been a beautiful ride with him. It really has. He's probably the biggest cheerleader of this sport that I've ever been around, and the most optimistic person I've ever met in my life.
Your passion is now carried over as well, and with your presenting sponsorship of the Hamiltonian. Let's talk about the immediate future for Winning Key Farm as we look ahead to the yearling sales this year.
Yeah, we have 3 yearlings that are going to be sold in Kentucky, and then we have 13 that are going to be sold in Harrisburg. So we have upgraded our broodmare, and this is the first time we're actually getting the stallions we bred and paid, a really good price for, and get it out there so everybody sees what we have available. So I want them all to look at them.
Lots to look forward to. Again, Patty, we cannot thank you enough for your contributions, not only to the sport, but the Hamiltonian as well. And of course, we wish the best of luck to all Winning Key horses going forward.
Patty Key and Winning Key Farm, presenting sponsor of the 101st Hamiltonian. It's a beautiful day at the Meadowlands as we continue with our coverage.
But here comes Scarlet Knight. Pegasus Spur, clear and driving at him. Choco Chip Hanover shakes loose off the cones. Scarlet Knight, Stefan Nylander calling to him. Pegasus Spur on the outside, taking it to him. Good battle for the finish, but it will be Scarlet Knight. Scarlet Knight, Stefan Nylander becomes Sweden's man on the moon in 1:53 and 4.
25 years ago, Scarlet Knight for Stefan Nylander won the Hamiltonian, and now his nephew Marcus Nylander hopes to finally break through, and he's got a big opportunity with Apex, who has his game face on for the 101st Hamiltonian. Let's go back to last weekend's eliminations, Emily, and we'll start first with the win by Apex, and boy, did he ever have to earn it.
This is exactly, though, what you want to see from a horse coming into the Hamiltonian, Mark. He did have to work for this one, but he showed that championship quality, and that's what you want to see. He was tested, he fought, he found a way to get the job done. He's been a leader in the division, and he certainly didn't do anything here to change that.
Good push on the outside by Endurance, who comes up just short. He's got a big opportunity here today, but all eyes and much of the focus after the elims shifts to Big Ranger, the Ohio Invader, dominant.
Big Ranger, no doubt, made the biggest statement of the elimination. First ever start at the Meadowlands, only his third race outside of Ohio, and this is a horse right here announcing he belongs on this stage. And, he separated himself from the field, and what happened last week in the elimination just gets you a seat at the table, though, Mark. You've got to step up on a big day like today.
A 4-length victory, the fastest elimination ever, 150. So let's meet the field for the 101st Winning Key Farm Hamiltonian. We start first with Minoan from the inside. Todd McCarthy looking for another upset in this big event. It could be worse. Hall of Famer David Miller gets the last second call. There is Apex and Big Ranger. The elimination winners secure good spots by winning those elims. They were going to draw towards the inside. They line up 3-4. And Captain Naughty from the center. The Meadowlands' leading driver, young reinsman Brett Beckwith, just returning from injury not long ago, gets a big opportunity.
He does, and gets his first start here in the Hamiltonian, and Captain Naughty making his first start at the Meadowlands after the elimination.
There's a look at the back half of the field. AI Endurance. Endurance, one of the standouts last season. He's really done nothing wrong. Yannick Gingras hoping Magic Punk can get it done. Spencer Hanover and American Power, another Nylander send out, goes from the far outside. Well, Big Ranger, Emily, is the talk of the town. Look at that record right there. An impressive resume already.
He does have an impressive resume. As we said, he was the fastest Hamiltonian elimination winner. He won that Ohio Triple Crown, went undefeated in his 2-year-old campaign, 7 for 7, 370,000. And as we said, making just his third start out of Ohio in the elimination last week.
Well, Annette Lorenzen took over the training not too long ago, and we had an opportunity to catch up with her and Big Ranger.
Say hello to the Ohio sensation, Big Ranger.
I knew we had a very good horse, very fast. The mile he went, I wasn't really surprised about. The whole thing I was questioning is how he was gonna stand up to that kind of caliber of horses, since he only been facing the Ohio circuit since I got him. And he raced one time at Oak Grove against these horses, and he didn't fare that well, so that was kind of the question mark I had. He got a lot of energy, and he loves to do his work. At home, a 4-year-old could go out and jog him. He just goes super slow, doesn't do anything. But when you bring him to the racetrack, he knows his business, and that's what I think makes him that good. I mean, I'm thankful to have the opportunity to have him in my barn. I've been going like race by race, and of course that's what we were hoping for, that we were gonna be here. But the owners never been saying anything. They let me do my thing. It's the biggest race you can win. So, I mean, I know it's a new race. So I'm just hoping for a lot of luck and that he stays sound and doesn't get sick. And that's all we can hope for right now. I've been going through a lot. Like most people knew that I had cancer some years ago, and I beat that. And then I lost my dad in an accident at the farm. And yeah, this like right now, it's all worth all the hard work and all the hours you put in.
Well, we've done a lot of talking about the field for the 101st Hamiltonian. It's time to see them out on the racetrack. All the pomp and pageantry of the Hamiltonian, great tradition and prestige with this rich event. So let's see the horses now, up close and personal for the Winning Key Farm Hamiltonian, and we'll kick things off with the number 1, Minoan. From the inside for Todd McCarthy, who came through with the upset win a few years ago with Cool Papa Bell. Teams with trainer Noel Daly, 5th in his elimination. Final quarter 26-4 to get by a few rivals to get into the final. 3 wins in 9 starts this season, 6 times though in the top 2. He's got that rail starting spot. If he sticks to that, you never know. It's the shortest way around.
The 2 is It Could Be Worse for trainer Linda Toscano, driver David Miller. Hall of Fame driver David Miller looking for his first Hamiltonian trophy. Trainer Linda Toscano, first female trainer to win the Hamiltonian in 2012 with market share. It Could Be Worse will start from post position number 2.
Next up is elimination winner number 3, Apex. He won a $1 million race last year, winning the Mohawk Million. Won his elimination by a nose in 150-4. Marcus Melander, hoping for his first Hamiltonian win. But how about Dexter Dunn? He has seemingly won everything in North America since arriving from New Zealand. Yet to win the Hamiltonian. Could this be the year?
Taking a look here at the 4 elimination winner, Big Ranger, the Ohio sensation. Trainer Annette Lorenzen looking for her first Hamiltonian victory. Driver Tim Tetrick, he's a winner of this race. He, of course, scored with market share back in 2012. He's actually finished 2nd 4 times, including 2023. He finished 4th last year at odds of 72-1. Not going to be as long of odds here today. Of course, a Big Ranger, the elimination winner, as we said. He was undefeated as a freshman and your 2025 Ohio Horse of the Year.
Next up will be number 5, Captain Naughty. He is a son of Hamiltonian winner Captain Corey, trained by Per Engblom. Brett Beckwith, at just 23 years old, is going to make his debut in the Hamiltonian. Captain Naughty was beat just 2 lengths behind Apex in his elim, finished 4th. He's winless this season, but he did very well as a 2-year-old, winning 4 of 9 starts. We'll see if it's Captain Naughty's day to spring the upset for the young driver, Brett Beckwith.
Post position number 6 is AI. He's trained by Ron Burke, the leading trainer in the sport of harness racing. He's trained the winners of $13 million this season. He's looking for his first Hamiltonian trophy, and he's going to team up with Ronnie Wren Jr., who will be making his Hamiltonian debut. 39-year-old reinsman looking for his first Hamiltonian trophy. And AI looking for his 2nd win of the season. He's a 3-year-old colt by Chapter 7. He was a $150,000 yearling purchase.
There's number 7, Endurance. He was the Kentucky Sire Stakes champion last year. Just missed by a nose behind Apex, trained by Chris Beaver. Andy McCarthy, who drove Ramona Hill to victory in the Hamiltonian, is in the bike. This guy, 10 wins in 14 starts. He is one of the main contenders.
The 8 is Magic Punk. There's a driver Yannick Gingras, who will be looking to do the Hamiltonian Oaks double. We saw him score earlier. This time, he'll look to do it with another Team Sponstead look to do it with a Team Sponstead trainee. This 3-year-old colt looking for his 4th win of the season.
Number 9 is Spencer Hanover. We talked a lot about Marcus Melander, while his younger brother Matthias Melander gets the call today to drive with Jason Bartlett on the sidelines. 4 wins in 7 7 starts. This was the Breeders' Crown champion from a year ago.
Here's a look at the 10. American Power trainer Marcus Melander. James McDonald gets the call by this 3-year-old colt who is royally bred. He's by Walner out of the great Ariana G, who was a champion in her own regard. This horse finished 3rd in his elimination.
Marcus Melander sends out 3. We catch up with him now. Let's go over to Greg Blanchard.
Thank you, guys. Marcus, you've been here before with 3 outstanding colts coming in. What have you drawn on past experiences that you're going to take into today for you and your team?
I mean, it's just, you know, we didn't change much. You know, we pulled some shoes on some of the horses, you know, today. They just felt ready to do it, so hopefully they can give an extra gear.
Yeah, I saw you watching the warm-up, obviously paying close attention to that. Just overall, what kind of a week did your 3 colts have in preparation?
Oh, they had a good week. You know, we just went pretty easy mile on them on Wednesday there. You know, they don't need. It's been a warm week, so it's more just, you know, maintaining.
All right. I know you're anxious to go watch it. Appreciate you taking the time. Good luck.
Thank you.
Marcus Melander, guys, he's got 3 more chances to get his first Hamiltonian.
Well, he's been in this spot, like you said, Greg, and he always seems calm, cool, and collected, but you know his heart rate's probably going to start to rise. He wants to win this race so badly. You show up year in and year out with this kind of talent. It's going to happen eventually. He's still so young. He's got so many more years in this game, but I'm sure he's starting to feel the weight on his shoulders.
I would think so, as you said. He's won nearly every major stakes race across the country, and this is one of those. We talk about Hamiltonian, and we talk about Hamiltonian Day, Mark, and I know anybody that is in the business, this is a dream, and so whether he feels the pressure or not, you know, it's just one of those races you've got to check off the bucket list.
We'd be remiss if we didn't mention about Big Ranger and the fact that there was a trainer change several weeks ago. Ronnie Gillespie, based in Ohio, had done a wonderful job with this guy, made him the Ohio Horse of the Year last year at age 2 and continued to have success. The ownership group opting to go a different direction in preparation leading up to the Hamiltonian. They moved the horse to Annette Lorenzen. She has won some big trotting races over the years. I think of a standout trotter like Guardian Angel, and now Annette Lorenzen. This would be such a huge moment for her personally. Tim Tetrick is having a great day already here at the Meadowlands. A lot of momentum behind Big Ranger.
A lot of momentum indeed. As we said, you know, you want momentum going into a race like this, and I think that's exactly what we see here. Big Ranger serving notice after that elimination that he belongs on this stage, and he is a serious contender.
You see number 7 Endurance there. From 14 career starts, only once has he finished outside the top 2. He has been terrific, and he always shows up, but he's kind of flying under the radar. It's crazy to think after he almost won last week, but I don't think he's getting enough love.
I agree 100%. The Kentucky Sire Stakes champion as a 2-year-old. The horse has done nothing wrong. 873,000. Though he didn't get his elimination victory, he did it the hard way. Just nosed out, trotted home in 26-2. He's a hard-working son of Captain Corey, who of course is a Hamiltonian champion himself.
Time to make our selections, Emily. We're back here on the desk. I see you've got the Apex hat. I've got Big Ranger. Whoever you've got, best of luck. Here we go. It's going to be a lot of fun, so buckle up as it's now time for the Winning Key Farm 101. It's the Hamiltonian. Up to Ken Workington.
Stride for stride, side by side here, 3 and 4. The Winning Key Farm, Hamiltonian, $1 million. They're on gate. Here they come. Three-year-olds are off and trotting. Big Ranger gets the first call. Off stride goes Magic Funk. Magic Funk broke. Minoan leaves alertly on the inside and darts out there. Off stride, it could be worse. So it's Minoan, and Big Ranger on the outside takes the lead. Apex is third. To the opening quarter they go. Captain Naughty, fourth on the inside, settles in front of Endurance is Captain fifth. Gap of 2 lengths there to AI on the inside, sixth. Then comes Spencer Hanover and American Power. Far back it could be worse, still off stride, Magic Punk. First quarter was hot, 26-4. Apex makes a move to the front for Dexter Dunn. So Apex and Dexter Dunn will call the shots early here. Big Ranger back in that second spot now. Minoan tracks along in third position. Captain Naughty under a tight rein in fourth. Hard to wrangle in there. Endurance on the inside, 5th as the pace slows. AI on the inside, 6th. Then comes Spencer, Hanover, and American Power, and way back it could be worse. And that distant trailer is Magic Punk. The half was 54 and 3. Pretty solid pace here, and Apex is the target. Stalked here by Big Ranger, 2nd. They round the turn with 3/8 to go. Minoan on the inside, 3rd. Here comes Endurance first up on the outside. Trying to tow into it here is AI, gapping that cover, still inching in. And a shuffle for Captain Naughty on the rail at 3/4. Apex, Big Ranger, deuce pops right now for Tetrick and takes his shot as they pass 3/4 in 1. 22 and 4 in the stretch of the Hamiltonian. Apex on the inside, digging in and bracing for Big Ranger on the outside, who had a perfect trip. They duel through the stretch here. Apex digs in. Big Ranger on the outside. Stride for stride tussle. Minoan is 3rd. Apex, Big Ranger trying to get to him. Apex on the inside. Big Ranger. Oh, it's too close to call. Apex and Big Ranger. Then Minoan noses apart in 1:49 and 2, a stakes record and a photo for win in the Hamiltonian. What a thriller.
It's the fastest Hamiltonian ever. But who won? We go to the photo finish camera, an epic stretch duel. Apex and Big Ranger down to the line.
It doesn't get any better than that, Mark. 2 champion trotters trotting to the wire, giving everything that they have. As you said, it's going to come right down to a photo, but it doesn't get any better than that. True trotting talent right on display right there. And what a race, what a finish. 2 phenomenal efforts by 2 champion trotters.
It wasn't a race-off, but it takes us back to 1989. Park Avenue Joe and Probe, who in the race-off finished in a dead heat, the only dead heat in Hamiltonian history. And this one is awfully close down to the wire. You can hear the reactions here at the Meadowlands. The crowd is buzzing. All you want is the showdown of the best, and that's exactly what we got.
It is, and as you said, the fastest Hamiltonian to date, 1:49 and 2. You know, I think the worst part about this is that somebody has to lose, and unfortunately, 2 phenomenal efforts. Apex doing all the heavy lifting on the front. Big Ranger, benefactor of a 2-hole trip, all the way down to the wire. I would not want to have to call this photo.
Deep drama at the 101st Hamiltonian. We step aside when we come back. The results of the photo finish in the Winning Key Farm Hamiltonian. The results are in the photo finish. It is Apex that has won the 101st Hamiltonian by the slimmest of margins, defeating Big Ranger. And with a big hug, Marcus Melander, Dexter Dunn, they get their first Hamiltonian.
That was one of those hugs I think you could almost feel from the camera. Marcus Melander meeting his champion. What a sigh of relief. What a incredible feat this horse just accomplished. And of course, his connections as well. What a feeling.
We heard from Marcus Melander with Greg prior to the race. He was trying to keep a calm, cool, collected demeanor. He can let out that emotion now. Once again, we go back over to Greg Blanchard.
Marcus Melander, you're finally a Hamiltonian champion. Can you put it into words?
No, not really. No, it's hard to describe, obviously. And such a tight finish there too. I thought usually it's the outside. But he fights like a champion. He never gives up.
Yeah.
You can, whoever is going on the outside of him or whatever, if he has a shot, he'll get it done.
I can't imagine what was going through your mind watching that last 100 feet and having it come down to inches, but it's well earned, Marcus. Congratulations, and go enjoy it.
Thank you.
Dexter Dunn is in the conversation for greatest driver of all time, and he's only been in North America for close to a decade. He had pretty much won everything. Driving titles, driver of the year in the US, and he finally gets the Hamiltonian. First one, I wouldn't be surprised if there's many to follow. Apex, Melander, Dunn, and all the connections celebrate as we step aside.
The 101st Winning Key Farm Hamiltonian on CBS Sports Network is brought to you by the Hamiltonian Society. supporting and encouraging the breeding of standard-bred horses for more than 101 years. And by Winning Key Farm. We will be the key to your success.
Coming down to the wire, Apex at the inside, Big Ranger on the outside, stride for stride. Nose to nose, well, I guess there was enough to separate them when they got to that photo finish. They took a look at the photo, and it was Apex that prevails, winner of the 101st Hamiltonian, presented by Winning Key Farm. Let's take a look at the prices from the Hamiltonian, where it was Apex getting to the line first by an inch over Big Ranger. Big Ranger was your favorite when they were sent on their way. So $7.90 to win, $2.90 to place, $2.60 to show. Big Ranger, $2.10. And Minoan, the rail starter, was a long shot and he's going to return $11.90 to show by getting up there to hit the board. American Power rounds out the superfecta, as you see the exotic payouts there as well. $18 isn't too bad of a return, honestly, for an Apex Big Ranger exact.
We talked about it. Big Ranger taking a lot of attention, and you know, I think if you would have told a lot of folks at the start of the season that you were going to get $7.90 on a horse like Apex to win the Hamiltonian, many would have told you were crazy. But that's what you have in harness racing, like we said, and anything can happen, but this is the one that matters, and Apex getting the job done, paying $7.90, but getting to the winner's circle first.
Let's go to Gabe Pruitt now in the Meadowlands.
All right, standing by are the winning connections of Apex here, captures the 101st Hamiltonian. We've got John Campbell, President and CEO of the Hamiltonian Society, Jeff Correll and Jason Settlemore on behalf of the Meadowlands, and we've got Patty Key, title sponsor. Thank you so much for that. It's for the 101st Hamiltonian. Carson Kressley, of course, back as well to present the trophy here to the winning connections, the ownership. We've got Jeffrey Snyder, Littard Aggregates SRF Stable, and Steve Stewart of Apex.
Congratulations to everyone. I know what this moment feels like, and I wish you nothing but happiness and memories to come forever.
All right.
Oh, yeah, it's a thrill to be here. An outstanding race, incredible competition, very exciting, and a great horse that won. So congratulations.
All right, we'll let you guys do the honors there, the Hamiltonian Trophy. And Jeffrey Snyder, big day for you guys. Of course, Super Chapter earlier. Special moment here in this Hamiltonian Winner's Circle.
Yeah, very, very special moment. And like I said before, this is the apex of our career, our life. The horses we've raced is just amazing. He was super. All credit goes to Marcus Melander, the whole team, Dexter Dunn, and the entire Melander team.
Now, you were standing here right at the edge of the winner's circle. What was going through your mind in those couple of minutes still waiting the results of that photograph?
Well, we thought that Apex was the winner. We thought by a long nose, and I was kind of surprised because we were watching it from the winner's circle. From the finish line. I thought that he had it, but then when the photo didn't come up, there was a long 4-minute wait. We started to sweat it out a little bit.
4 minutes felt like 40 minutes, I'm assuming.
Yeah, but then I saw Marcus taking off, putting the blanket on, looking confident. So we felt like we had the race won.
All right, we'll bring in Steve Stewart here as well. Cindy Stewart. Steve, talk to us about this. Not only as the co-owner, but you're the breeder here as well, so that has to be awfully special.
Yeah, well, we're part breeders with a lot of guys from Indiana, one of them in Canada, and this is for us. But, yeah, it's great.
And what's it mean? I mean, obviously you acquired a great mare like Mission Brief. To see her produce, you know, a champion like Apex. I know she's had several great ones already in her career, but nothing like this. She's just an unbelievable effort.
Yeah, I mean, we bred Mission Brief, and then so we've had the family, and it's been a great ride for sure. But the best part is partners like these guys and partners we have with Mission Brief, and that means the world for us.
And you weren't quite as close to the winner's circle, so how confident were you after the line there that you got the job done?
Every time, it seemed like for every tick of the second or the clock, it seemed like it was going to be a dead heat. That's what I kept thinking or whatever, because it was just taking longer and longer. But yeah, it's like in the movies, right?
Our lives.
Yeah, it was a long photo, but at the end of the day, Apex captures the 101st Hamiltonian. We'll send it back upstairs to you guys.
It's a Hamiltonian that'll be remembered for many years to come. We nearly had our second dead heat in Hamiltonian history, but by the slimmest of margins, Apex prevails. Emily, that's what racing is all about, whether there's $1,000 or $1 million on the line, the thrill of a battle, it coming right down to the finish line. like I said, it's what it's all about.
That's exactly right. Championship racing producing championship results, and it doesn't get much better than that. Hamiltonian oftentimes has a lot of synonyms, and amazing was one of those that we saw right here today.
I'm going to go with epic. It was an epic stretch duel, an epic finish, and it goes to Apex here in 2026. On behalf of Emily Ratcliffe, Greg Blanchard, and our entire crew behind the scenes, thanks so much for joining us for the 101st Winning Key Farm Hamiltonian. Congratulations to Team Apex, driver Dexter Dunn, trainer Marcus Melander, all the owners. Apex prevails in the Hamiltonian.